LEC Day 1 Fnatic vs SK. This is the remade game. So go through draft real quick. Fnatic first ban Irelia. They're trying to get rid of as many OPs in the game since they want to leave up 2 OPs or 1 OP when it's their turn to pick. Casio Aatrox, very standard bans on purple side. They're both triple flexes. So it's just a little bit hard to deal with that unless you have a specific plan against giving it up at first as first pick. And so it becomes very clear at the end that they're just going for a Lucian or Urgot first pick trade. And they ban out the Urgot and just give over Lucian. They're like, we don't want to deal with any flexes. If you see SKT, they'll first pick the Urgot, or they have high priority on the Urgot. And so first pick Lucian. A lot of blue side teams, when they first pick the Lucian, they will really play towards bot side, and they'll have their jungler. This is really standard. Their jungler will take red buff, either take Krugs or skip Krugs. I'll probably go over with the Rift Kit. So jungler, where you at? Jungler will start red buff, get a leash. This jungler will be top side getting a leash. And so jungler will clear this. AD goes to lane, starts pushing. Their AD and supports there. So they could be there first because they don't have to give a leash. But usually if you're there in lane first, it means that you'll have first push for the majority of early game. However, since they started red buff, now this jungler can go through here, and even though SK or red side could have placed a ward here, either jungler support will start sweeper, and and then you'll just sweep out the ward, get rid of this, and then how do you even get rid of that? Oh, that's the wrong one. And then now they have to play safe. So now your AD carry Lucian will get first push bottom, and you get bot crab, and now they have to be super scared this whole early game. And the same thing happens top lane. So this top laner has to leash, so this top laner can get first push, but since a lot of junglers will do like red Krugs into top crab, uh, this player cannot just perma push the whole early game. He has to be really scared of getting ganked. So now he usually has to play back a little bit. And then this top laner can get first push. So yeah, I'm expecting this game, that's what Fnatic's going to do. So if you want to play an aggro bot lane on purple side into the Lucian, it's usually very tough because you can't really combat that push early game. And if you're playing like Kalista into Lucian and you lose first push, it's kind of hard to get it back. So you'll see a lot of teams do this. They'll be like, okay, they picked Lucian. That's probably that they already planned this out. We're giving over Lucian. We're not going to have pressure bot lane. We're playing Ezreal. It's just what happens. And Ezreal Braum can absorb a lot of this early pressure bot lane. They will get pushed in, and Lucian might be able to get some plates. But for the most part, unless it like snowballs a lot and like they get ganked and they die, that Ezreal will be able to hold its own. And once it gets tier Sheen or even Frozen Gauntlet tier, it might be able to actually match the Lucian pressure and not even lose plates anymore. And then 1-3-1, the Ezreal almost always gets first push against the Lucian if it has vision control. And SK can play towards top side. So I'm expecting these 3 picks to be pretty strong and have advantages over the Fnatic top side of the map, just because Fnatic will play towards bot side. And Fnatic picks Pyke Lee Sin. So, like I said, Fnatic's playing towards bot side for sure. It's really obvious what their game plan is. Let's keep bot lane perma pushed. Pyke is going to have a lot of roaming windows. We're going to take control of bot river. Pyke can roam mid. He can roam up to Rift Herald. They're just trying to use the push pressure of Lucian to enable Pyke to roam. And then doing Sejuani is pretty standard. So they banned Swain. Probably going for a tank top. They don't want to deal with Bwipo's Swain. Corki. Alright, so they're setting up, yeah, they banned Galio. It's pretty obvious. then they ban Hecarim. So I haven't seen that many Hecarims, but in NA Academy, there was a Hecarim top Sejuani jungle game, and it seemed pretty good. So maybe in EU, in scrims, Hecarim top Sejuani jungle is actually a pretty good combo. So we go for the Lissandra. So that is a flex, but with Scion still in the game, Fnatic can pick the Scion, and then you kind of know Lissandra is not going top to match the Scion unless you're just accepting that it's probably going to be pretty ineffective. So I'm expecting Fnatic to kind of go Scion and maybe like a mage that they know is going to get pressure against the Lissandra, and that's going to really enable the Lucian to snowball this early game. Because if they have pressure mid lane and then they have their bot lane perma pushing in, and they have like a tank in the top lane like Scion, it's going to be really good for them to play bot side and then enable this Pyke to roam. So they do go for the Scion. It's pretty standard. And Akali. I mean, okay, Akali could work, but it's not the best matchup into Lissandra. Lissandra's gonna push in the Akali, and so you're playing this Lucian without mid pressure this game. I don't know. I actually don't see this going too well for Fnatic in terms of the early game. Like maybe their mid game's really strong with Pyke, Akali, but it seems really hard to play out in my opinion early. They're gonna lose pressure mid lane. They want to have bot perma pushed and have Pyke take control of bot river. But if Sejuani Lissandra can keep control of bot river or just mid in general, the Pyke's not going to be able to roam at all, and then Ezreal Braum might not be punished bot lane. And then Poppy this game, really good utility. So just because I think Fnatic's playing towards bot side, they can do this. Because usually Sign will get first push against Poppy and then kind of dumpster the Poppy. But because Fnatic's probably splitting the map, the Poppy's actually not going to be too bad, because if Poppy gets first push when the Sejuani's top side and the Lee Sin's bot side, then the Poppy can keep the push for the majority of the early game, and it's actually pretty good. Poppy's pretty good in general if you can get first push. But Sign is the better tank, but Poppy's utility with W this game is pretty insane. So I'm watching for bot river control this game by Fnatic, and I'm watching for SK's bot lane hitting their 1 to 2 items before either losing their turret or losing a lot of plates. And then if Fnatic ever loses bot river control and they can't really get it back, I'm expecting this early game to be really hard for them. Alright. So early game, Lee Sin cleared red buff. This is what we were just talking about earlier. The Pyke is clearing out this ward. Now the Ezreal Braum has to play really far back, but since it's Ezreal Braum, that's okay. They were like Kalista and they had to play back and lose level 2, it would feel really bad. So that's why they went for Ezreal Braum here. And they do go for the map split. The Sion, even though it's trading really well against the Poppy, now has to let itself get pushed in. So the Poppy is going to gain a little bit of control. And alright, so Broxton's not going for his Raptors. So this is a chunk. Yeah, so he chunks him. So he's just trying to make sure it's not a complete map split. He just goes for the chunk on Lissandra, so Lissandra isn't just free to move first no matter what, and it does give Broxton a little more time, or a little more just flexibility in the jungle when Lissandra doesn't have like complete prio. Like he burned through all his crafting pots right now, so it's not the worst. So I'm looking for Pyke. When Pyke and Akali come back on the map with pink wards and Lee Sin, they need to get this bot control while this Lucian has his advantage, especially through his Cutlass buy. And yeah, the Poppy top lane is able to push in this Sion. So even though it's not the best matchup, it's not too bad. So there's a plate. So going pretty well for Lucian right now. As expected. Whipple has to know that his job isn't to punish. Okay. Your Lee Sin's bot lane, you're getting plates bottom. Your Lucian's feeling really good right now. It's not too bad if you die here, but you can easily just not die here. You already got your chunk. The wave's pushing into you. Just get the minions. Alright, well, Whipple used TP and his wave's pushing out, so that's not ideal. So this is one of Sion's only windows coming up soon. Let's look at the base's bot lane. So I can't really see. It looks like they're bot lane base first, red side. So Ezreal TP'd back. Ezreal TP'd back. Braum gets on map first. He gets the pink ward in bot side. Once Lucian pushes out bot lane, then they can probably get this pink ward back. Unless he just risks it. Yeah, he does. I guess the Pyke isn't too scared until Sejuani's level 6. He can just E out. But yeah, now we have this triple pink ward. 4 pink wards right here. I really want to see Fnatic take control of the spot river. But it seems really hard to me. They're not going to have any mid push. The Lucian does have a really good buy right now, so it's just the reason why this game is so hard is because of this Lissandra. This Lissandra is going to permanently push in this wave and hover towards bot side. So even though Reckless is going to outsustain this Ezreal and push him in and can get plates, because of this Lissandra, the Ezreal can actually kind of combat the push a little bit and not get super far behind. And then once he comes back with Frozen Gauntlet, I don't see how Fnatic does well in this early game. So Ezreal can go up. Yeah, Ezreal can get the fruit too. This is because of the mid matchup. Alright. Well, at least Lucian now should be able to push in bot lane. He has Cutlass, so this is good. Rooming up. They really need to get this bot river control, but it's so hard. Yeah. This is gonna be really hard for Fnatic. Why is Lisa in top side? Are they trying to kill this Poppy? It's not even. You're picking Lucian and going top side here. It's gonna feel like a rough game. Alright, so bot river controls the name of the game. Unless Fnatic can just somehow get Rift Herald and get out of this early game, then it does seem like SK's in an insanely good spot right now. Ezreal needs to TP back, and then they're in a really good spot. But look at this bot river. Fnatic really can't come in here at all. Lissandra gets first push every wave. They have Sejuani ultimate. Now Braum's here. Like what can Fnatic do to get control? It seems so hard. I feel like support should be different, or I mean even if support is different, it doesn't really change anything. I think it's the Akali pick. Kill the Pike. I like the dragon. Yeah, this game seems tough. Now that Ezreal can actually. Yeah, so the Ezreal TP'd back with Frozen Gauntlet. So already this game's going to be really hard for Fnatic now. I think they got 2 plates bottom, which is actually pretty good. But you do usually want more than that. And you want the pressure. The pressure is the important thing. The fact that they have bot not being pushed in by the Lucian and mid lane's perma pushed in by Lissandra makes this early game really impossible. And mid game should be really simple for SK once Ezreal gets mid lane. Once they get vision control and you have Sejuani, Ezreal, Braum, I don't see how Fnatic can test mid at all. So here, Fnatic, you need to somehow get this Rift Herald, because you're going to slowly lose the game. Yeah, so as expected, they can't get any vision bot side. Alright, so I like this by Fnatic. They recognize, yeah, this game is fucked. We can't keep doing this. We can't get control of bot lane. Our bot side, our Lucian, which is supposed to abuse this matchup, can't abuse the matchup because of what's happening around bot river. So let's swap top. Let's get this Rift Herald. Okay, so this is a communication problem. SK didn't know that they were swapping, and so Poppy dies here, which is pretty bad, but they TP'd. No. Alright, you're SK. You have two people bot lane, you know you're gonna get first turret bottom. You gotta accept your mess up. So look, we're Ezreal Braum, we didn't call out that Reckless could be top, or maybe they did and Poppy died anyway. They got us. They are gonna come back a little bit, but we're still gonna be in a really good spot. Fnatic's reward is they're gonna get top turret, a lot of top turret damage, maybe top turret, and Rift Herald. But what SK is still gonna have is they're gonna have mid push. If Lissandra doesn't TP here, Lissandra's still gonna be able to push out mid. The bot lane, which pushes out bottom here, is either gonna go for a tier 2, or they can rotate mid and start hitting mid turret with the Lissandra, which should be protecting this wave. And then when Poppy respawns, Poppy can defend tier 2. So SK should still have a lot of tempo on the map if they don't try to salvage this play. But let's see what happens. Once the Sandra TPs, Akali is now just going to get first push mid, so even when Ezreal rotates mid, it's not going to feel too bad from the Akali side. Alright, 1-for-1. Sejuani's going to die too unless he runs to the right. It's a little bit late. Yeah. So this game's actually pretty close now. So SK, they're going to get this bot turret. They want to... Your Ezreal is 2 core. You want to put your Ezreal mid lane. So Ezreal takes the spot turret, maybe recalls, maybe runs mid, but he's going mid lane. Your Lissandra, which is spawning in 12 seconds, is going bot or top. Your Poppy, which is spawning, which is alive. Okay, Poppy's just run top now. So your assignments are Poppy top, Ezreal, Braum mid, Lissandra bottom. Wait, what? Alright, Poppy TP'd. If he died here. He definitely died here. Alright, so guess what happens now? Ezreal, who wants to be mid lane, now has to run top because Poppy died. So now Poppy's job is to catch bottom and Lissandra's mid. So lane assignments aren't too good right now. Now SK's kind of forced to go for this top turret, so they're probably going to lose this dragon. Lucian's smacking the turret, Poppy's running bottom. I don't want to see this. It's burning my eyes. Alright. So we skipped over the replay. Ezreal got top turret, Lucian got bot turret. So now it's stable. And they lose the dragon. But at least lane assignments are correct right now. So SK should still be pretty good, even though they're down a little bit of gold right now. The fact that they have Ezreal and Lucian should still give them control mid lane. They have, or the core 3. So Sejuani, Lissandra, Braum should still have pressure against the Lucian Pike. Listen. And we can see it here, to be honest. So I guess it's kind of hard to see because of this thing, but the Lissandra, Ezreal, and Braum are all mid, so they can make sure that Lucian's stuck under turret, And Fnatic's going for this play in the side lane. Akali's going to beat everyone in the side lane right now. So Poppy has to be really careful. But Fnatic's on a timer with this play because SK can collapse first. So Brox to just get out. Yeah, he gets out. So nothing's probably going to happen here. But we can kind of see how the mid game's going to play out. Fnatic's going for a side lane. SK's going for mid control. If SK can actually get better vision around mid lane, then Fnatic's actually going to have a really hard time going for those side lane plays. Alright, so let's just look at windows. And by windows, I mean like windows of opportunity. So Poppy's top. Poppy pushed out top, which means that he's going to be able to run mid. Cyan's catching this wave right now bottom. This is SK's window because Ezreal has TP and they see Cyan. So Fnatic has to back up. Someone needs to catch this bot wave though. So I would say Poppy, leave this wave. It's not as important. Go bottom, catch this wave. You'll probably be able to get this turret 4v4 before Cyan collapses, and you'll actually be able to catch these 3 waves bottom. Poppy pushes top wave instead. I mean, it's not the worst, but at least he pushed a wave. But missing this is pretty bad. That's a lot of gold. So they got the turret. That's really good for Ezreal. Ezreal can push out mid wave a lot further now. So Lissandra's going bottom. That's kind of interesting. You want to get to Lissandra top soon. Poppy's top. This is Fnatic's window. While you're pushing out bottom, make sure you're playing safe here. They're going to get control. Alright, so now Lissandra's going to come. Once Fnatic throws someone bot lane, you're going to be able to get control back. But you need to wait until someone shows bottom. My lads. Okay. Your SK here. Your Poppy's catching top wave. He has TP real soon, but TP's still like a 4-second cast time. So even if you're TPing during a fight, it's going to be really hard to get there in time. So Lissandra's collapsing first. Lissandra's saying a really good flank. This is good for us, but Akali is here too. Unless you think you can one-shot someone. Oh, that's actually a pretty good engage. But yeah, they don't get the one-shot, so now this fight's going to be really hard. The Akali's going to be here real soon. You have to use Poppy TP now. And you're kind of sacrificing the tempo that you got from your Lissandra here. Because the fact that Fnatic's not sending someone bottom right now is actually making them pretty fucked in about 30 to 30 seconds. When Poppy clears his top wave, they're going to have an instance where top lane is neutral, bot lane is pushed into Fnatic, and as soon as Fnatic sends someone bot lane, then SK gets full control of mid, and Ezreal can push in the Lucian like the tier 2 and keep that control for the rest of like until someone has to reset. But they go for this play. They could have got the one shot to be honest, but slightly mistimed. Oh my god. Wait, 3 of them die here? Did they lose Baron? No way. Sejuani's pretty tanky. I guess you go for Braum. Alright. Lissandra's TP. Alright. Doesn't look too bad. They don't do Baron, right? Okay. Alright, the game's still fine. They're down a lot of gold now. They're down 2k gold. But if they just play towards Prio and play towards Windows, they can really take control of this game without fighting. Alright, Cyan's bottom. Fnatic knows it's SK's window. Clearing mid, getting control. Alright, Poppy's going bottom. So it's Fnatic's window now. No one's top lane. It's kind of interesting. I guess it's up to Fnatic to push it out because they don't know where the Akali is. Lissandra can't just run top. Poppy's pushing out bottom. Scion's here. Gotta wait for someone to show bottom, and that's SK's window again. Five people mid. So Fnatic's kind of taking the dragon and surrendering Baron Vision here. But I do kind of like this just because, well, it actually looks like they're fighting this. But even if they don't fight this, SK has to send someone bot lane to catch this wave eventually, and they don't have Lissandra or Poppy TP. So the fact that they're giving up this Baron control actually doesn't matter too much because it either forces SK to start Baron or SK has to back off the Baron area and catch this wave. They go for the fight. Oof. Alright, 2 whiffed ulties, so Fnatic's gonna be able to push this out. Yeah. And Poppy has to catch bottom eventually. So this is actually hella good for Fnatic. Get rid of the vision. It's a nice sneaky ward. It's kind of scary for SK. They don't have any vision. But as long as Fnatic's not on Baron, then Poppy needs to somehow figure out how to clear this bot wave. Alright, he's on bot wave. Pretty far up. You gotta make sure you're safe. Poppy's bottom. Stopwatch was insane. I mean, Fox is dead no matter what. Like, even if he kicks him. But still, it's a pretty good stopwatch. It would be nice if Fnatic just took the chunk on Braum, but they went for the kill. You gotta respect it. Sejuani ulti was nuts. Alright, so that's probably Baron. I would think that this game ends pretty soon. Once SK gets the setup, it's going to be really hard to deal with. You cannot do this if you're Poppy. What? Oh, did he get stunned when he tried to flash? I mean, you have two options if you're Poppy. You can say, I want to push up really far, I'll just flash the Scion ulti and be fine. Or you just sit a little back. Like, if he just back a little bit and just runs around the wall, or just anything that doesn't get hit by the Scion ult, then he's fine. But dying here is hella bad. Alright, 4v5. Pretty good for Fnatic. Holy shit. Alright. I guess self-made to Smurf. Is the game over? Yeah. Alright. So I would say pretty well played game by SK. They definitely should respect Fnatic's windows more. And even though they don't have the best side lane matchups, they can win the side lane matchup dance because of their mid prio after they dance for like a minute and then get the mid setup, and then when they go back to the side lane, they'll still have the mid pressure. So I would say if they respected Fnatic's windows, this game would be a lot easier. But I think Fnatic's early game was just really hard based on the draft. They played mid game out pretty well, but I just feel like if they picked a mage mid that was good into the Lissandra and that could like contest push or get pushed, then this early game would have been really easy for them, and they could have either taken bot turret or brought the pike up to mid lane or to Rift Herald and got Rift Herald with a numbers advantage. I don't know. It just seems like they got rid of a lot of options by going for the Akali.